All right. Welcome all of you. Good evening, all of you. I can see many of you are already here. So, good evening, everyone. I hope you are able to see me and you are able to hear me clearly. From my end, I see everything is fine. So, let me raise a quick poll here so that you can answer it whether you are able to see me carefully or not. You are able to hear me carefully or not, clearly or not. ठीक है. So we'll start our class soon. Meanwhile, you can look at the slide, just judge today's topic, and that's all. Judge today's topic. We are going to start soon. And meanwhile, if anybody wish to share anything over here, you can message me. Pritesh, first time attend कर रहा है क्या class? Pritesh, first time attend कर रहा है क्या class? Every class I show this. This is Pritesh, this is the introduction of today's class topic. Pritesh, you can judge it, guess it. Pritesh, you have missed lot of things. So bouncer जाने वाला है Pritesh आज, right? Yes, Khushi, I'll do that. Thank you, Chandan. Good evening, Manuja. Thank you, Naren. We'll do that, Vismay. We'll do that. Yes, Hari Prakash. Definitely, I'll do that, Hari Prakash. Cool. Let's start our class then without much delay. So I'll give you a quick recap of the last class. I know there are a lot of Global PU students who have bunked my previous classes, right? A lot of students who have been preparing for MTs and who have missed a lot of my classes. So for them, there is only one suggestion, beta. Just go and watch the videos on YouTube. Right? Just go and watch the videos on YouTube. If you face any difficulties, you already have my number. Contact me at any point of time. Just message me first. I'll give you the time. ठीक है. Thank you, Sagar, Kiran Kumar, Jai Shri Ram. Chalo, let's start on the good note. Yes, so let me give you a quick review of our preview of our previous class, right? Let me give you a quick preview of our previous class, right? So last class, let me conclude, because this is what I'm going to use today for problem solving also, right? So if you face any difficulties, provided you have attended the previous classes, you can ask me. If you have not attended the previous classes, hold patience, try to understand whatever best you can, right? Go home, watch videos, you'll get it clear, don't worry. Right, so what we see over here is, I told last class also that if a CC or if any closed structure, any closed packing, whether it is simple cubic, FCC, BCC, end centered or edge centered, any of these packing, if they contain n number of particles, then for n number of particles, how many octahedral voids will be there in that packing? N only, right? For example, if I talk about FCC, I told example also, if FCC contain 4 particles, that is n particle, then how many octahedral voids are there in FCC? 4. Same as the number of particle. How many tetrahedral voids will be there? 2 times. That means 4 ka 2 times is 8. So FCC will contain 4 octa. Yes, I'll do that, Abhishek H. So octahedral void 4, tetrahedral void 8, right? So I hope this point is clear. Also, I told that FCC is nothing but CCP also. FCC, CCP means same thing. And they are which type of packing? They are ABC type packing. This is what we concluded last class, right? Just remember this, guys. Just remember this. This thing is very, very important. We are going to solve questions using this today. Okay? Is this formula, is this concept clear to everyone? Is this concept, Pritesh, hold your patience, beta. So is this concept clear to everyone? Yes. So let's move ahead. So here also I told, we had discussed this also, that in hexagonal packing, it is which type of packing? It is AB type packing, and CCP packing is ABC type packing. That means the first layer and third layers are different in CCP, as we had discussed also. I told you how FCC is also a CCP. I showed you 3 layers, A, B, and C. Right? There are many ways of showing 3 layers here. Then I also showed that HCP is AB type packing. Correct? I'm not discussing the coordination number over here, right? For now, you can remember it is 12. If you want me to explain, I can explain it over here. So all of you, please pay attention how I'm going to explain the coordination number here. Guys, hold your patience, listen carefully. I am going to explain the coordination number in HCP. Just to recall, what is the definition of coordination number? It is number of particles touching a particular particle. Correct? Now let me check for this red particle. All of you see this red particle? I am taking this particle, right? I am taking this red particle, which has become white now, right? So if you check this red particle, how many particles are touching this red particle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 in its own layer. So in its own layer, how many particles are touching here? 6 in its own layer, right? Let us use 6 in its own layer. Now, how many particles are touching this in the above layer? So in the above layer, 1, 2, 3. So 3 particles in the above layer. And how many particles in the below layer touching this particular particle? 1, 2, 3. Again, 3 in the lower layer, right? Again, 3 in the lower layer. So total, how many particles are touching this central red particle, guys? 6 in its own layer, 3 in above layer, 3 in below layer. Total 12. That means, can I write coordination number of HCP, hexagonal close packing, here is 12. Can I write this? Yes? Can I write this or not? Cool. So similarly, the coordination number here in CCP is also 12. I will discuss more about coordination number when I discuss packing efficiency and NaCl, all those type of lattice, right? So all of you understand now, HCP coordination number is 12, FCC or CCP, both are same. CCP or FCC coordination number is also 12, right? How it is 12? All of you pay attention. Here also you can judge the same way. Here also you do the following. Consider this particle. So 6 in its own layer, 3 in the top layer. Below there also there will be a triangular layer like this, which will also have 3 particles. So here also coordination number will be 12. I hope this concept is clear to everyone, right? So coordination number is clear. Packing efficiency, Chirag, we haven't discussed yet. We'll come to that. Most likely today only. So this also I had told, I had calculated the value of Z, since many of you had doubt in it. So I will do it again. All of you please pay attention. So you can see here, I told this is a corner particle. First I calculated which all particles are there. So let me show the different particles first. So yes, so there were corner particles. These all were corner particles. So how many corner particles you can see here? 12 corner particles, right? Now the coordination, the contribution here is not same as square. So what we did here was, I told guys that we need to see how many unit cells can be placed around it. So I told you here that there are 2 ways of finding the Z value. One is you assume this is a cuboid, black cuboid, blue cuboid. Tanmay, I have drawn with different colors today, if you are there. So black cuboid, blue cuboid, and purple cuboid. So you can assume HCP as 3 cuboids, find the Z value in each of them and multiply it by 3. That also is one way. Okay? So there are 12 corners I have drawn. Then I'm drawing the face centers here. This is my face center. This is also my face center, right? And I told if this is your cuboid 1, black cuboid is cuboid 1. So this is this geometry, students. 6-membered layer, 6-membered layer. In between, there are 3 particles. So in between, if you want to place 3 particles, so this was your particle 1 in the center of cuboid black, particle 2 in the center of cuboid purple, and particle 3 here in the center of the cuboid blue. So there were 3 cuboid in the 3 centers. So let me also do the following, just to give you a clear idea. Let me join them using a line. Just a minute. Yes. Right. So these were 3 particles. Now there were 3 body center in 3 different cuboids. Now I told here that if you take this, right? So you can see clearly this angle is 120 degree. This is also 120 degree. This is also 120 degree. So if there is a 1 unit cell here, similarly, there will be 1 more unit cell here. Similarly, there will be 1 more unit cell here. So 120 degree angle, 3 are there. So this is 1 unit cell. This is 2nd unit cell. This is 3rd unit cell. So this corner is shared in how many unit cell? This unit cell, next, and then next. When the angle is 90 degree, guys, then you can draw how many unit cell around it? 4, right? You can draw 4 because 90 into 4 is 360. But since the angle here is 120, you can draw only 3. So in cube, we used to say this corner particle is shared in 1, 2, 3, 4 cubes. In the ground floor, in the first floor also there will be 4 more cubes. So just above 2 there will be, just above 1 there will be 5. Just above cube 2 there will be cube 6. Above 3 there will be cube 7. And above 4 there will be cube 8. So we used to say it is shared in 8 cubes. So contribution of this particle we used to say there was 1 by 8, right? And here the angle is 120 degrees. So there are 3 cubes in the ground floor. Just above room 1 there will be cube number, there will be hexagon 4. Just above 2 there will be 5th hexagon. Just above 3 there will be 6th hexagon. So there are total, this corner is shared in how many hexagons? Shared in, guys, how many hexagons? Shared in 6 hexagons. Very good, Jagruti. Shared in 6 hexagons. So how much part of this particle belongs to this hexagon, which it is present in? So how much part of this belongs to this hexagon? 1/6 belongs to each hexagon. Each hexagon, right? So therefore the contribution was 1/6. Now guys, one more thing. Why it is 1/6? 3 in its own layer, 3 above it. But imagine if it was not 3-dimensional, then second layer will not be there. Only the ground layer will be there. Then it will be shared in how many hexagons? If it is only the ground layer, the top layer is not there, then it is shared only in 3 hexagons, right? Then only in 3 hexagons, then contribution will be 1 by 3. Please keep this thing in your mind. Now let me calculate the Z value. So Z value here will be Z due to corners plus Z due to corners is Z due to face center plus Z due to body center. All of us already know the contribution for face center is always how much? How much? 1 by 2, right? And the contribution for body center is how much? Always 1. Because it is present completely in the unit cell, it is not shared by any other unit cell. 1 contribution. Now let me summarize how to calculate total Z value in case somebody has any doubt. So corner, each particle gives how much part to the unit cell? 1/6 part. And how many corners are there? 12. You can see 12 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 6 above, 6 below. So 1 by 6 into 12 plus face center. What is the contribution of the face center? Half. That means half of this face center belongs to this unit cell and half belongs to above the unit cell. I gave you very good example of face center. If you have a wall, in a wall, if you have a window, your window will be present in this room and the room next to it. Only two rooms. So window is present. How much part of window is present in this room? Half. Therefore, face center particle contribution is always half. And how many face centers you have? 2 plus body center. So what is the contribution of body center? 1. And how many body centers we have, guys? How many body centers we have? 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So now you can simplify this. It will come out to be 6. Correct? All of you got this or not? Is this point clear to everyone? Yes, guys? Very good. Well and good. Now let me come back here. And I told you, I did not give you the Z value of HCP here. Now let us write the Z value of HCP also. What is the Z value of HCP? 6. If the Z value of HCP is 6, can anybody tell me how many octahedral voids will be there and how many tetrahedral voids will be there in HCP? Can anybody tell me how many octahedral voids? Yes, guys? Quickly. Very good, Nivedita. So octahedral void is same as the number of particles. If there are n particles, octahedral void is also n. If there are n particles, tetrahedral voids is always double. So how many octahedral voids you'll have? 6. How many tetrahedral? 12. All right. So I hope this point is also clear. Now let me start our today's class. This is our summary of the last class. I hope this is clear to everyone now. Right. So I'm assuming this point is whatever we have discussed so far is clear to everyone now. Right. So let's start our today's class. Right, guys. So there are few. I know that Adesh. Thank you, Adesh. I'll use that. So formula of a compound. Now we are going to move towards numericals on this topic. So to solve the numericals on this topic, all of you should keep 1, 2, 3 points in your mind, right? So 2 to 3 points. What are the points you should keep in your mind? All of you please follow. So first thing, if you have an ionic solid will have a cation and anion. Can anybody tell me here? What is larger in size, cation or anion? From your knowledge of periodic properties, what is larger in size, cation or anion? Yes, anybody? What is larger in size, cation or anion? Very good, guys. You are very thorough with your periodic property concepts. So radius of anion is always larger than radius of cation. Okay? So that is what we are writing here. All of you pay attention. In ionic solid, bigger ions, usually anion, right, form CCP structure. CCP structure, or you can say FCC structure. CCP structure. Anions form CCP structure. What does it mean? FCC means corners plus face center. That means anions will always go to which position? Corner and face center. Anion will always go to corner and face center. I repeat, anion will go to corners and face center, right? Because it is larger in size. Now, void space in whenever you do packing, right? You see, you have done a lot of packing here. See here. So you see how much is the size of void? You see the size of void over here. The void size is so small, right? So since the void size is very small, only the small particles will go into the void, right? So therefore, the small size particle, right? Usually the smaller ions, that is cation, occupy the voids. Why? Because the void space is very less, right? So I repeat again, anion goes to CCP or FCC, that means corner plus face center, and cation goes to voids. Another very important point. Okay? If the cation is small enough, now voids are of two types, tetrahedral void and octahedral void. Which void it will occupy then? So if the cation is very small, then tetrahedral voids are occupied. And if the anions are big, then octahedral voids are occupied, right? Dhanush, where are voids means in packing? Dhanush, beta, where have you gone and come from? Dhanush, see, FCC will have 2 voids, octahedral void, tetrahedral voids. So these voids we are talking about. The position of voids we have not discussed yet. We will discuss it, where they are located. We have not discussed the position. We'll discuss it soon. So all octahedral and tetrahedral voids are not occupied. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is, let's say if there are 8 tetrahedral voids, let's say half of them are occupied by particles. That means half of 8 is 4. So out of 8 voids, 4 are occupied by particles. It can happen, right? Not all the voids are occupied. Voids may or may not be occupied. Some part of the void is always occupied. Okay? I hope this point is also clear, right? So only some part of the voids is occupied. This thing we will use, this statement I'm not putting too much emphasis on because we are going to solve a problem regarding this. Because we will not understand it from statement, we have to solve a problem on this. I hope this point is clear, everyone. Yes? So summarize, anion goes to FCC, cation goes to void, smaller cation goes to tetrahedral void, larger cation goes to octahedral void. This is the summary. All voids are not occupied. Okay? All right. So yes, before I solve this, I would like to do the following. Yes. Let us solve this question based on our so far. I will solve this question for you. And the next question, all of you have to solve. Vismay, I know you are smart. So just hold your breath, Vismay. Guys, don't answer this poll. I will solve this question for you. Guys, don't answer this poll. I will solve this question for you. Next question, you can solve yourself. Okay? All of you pay attention here. You have to again, till now we were finding the molecular formula of the compound using Z value. Now we are going to find the molecular formula of the compound using Z value only, but now voids will be involved. So let me tell you how to solve this question. There are 2 atoms, X and Y. So same process, take the ratio of X and Y. Let me change the color. Same process, take the ratio of X and Y, right? Now, atoms of the element Y, that is anion, make CCP. CCP means what? FCC. Can I say CCP also means FCC? FC nahi, FCC. FC nahi, FCC. Do you understand that? FC nahi, FCC. Do you get that? It is very important. FCC. Okay? That means face center plus corner. So can anybody tell me what will be the Z value of FCC? Can anybody tell me? Yes, it's not 3. Do not take half into 6. That is face center. This is face center plus corner. So Z value is 4. So atoms of X is 4. Okay? Now, atoms or element X, that is cations, occupy all octahedral voids. Okay? Y occupy all octahedral voids. Let me come back. So FCC Z value is 4. So how many octahedral voids will be there? 4. How many tetrahedral voids? 8. Right? There are 4 octahedral voids, and he's saying all 4 octahedral voids is occupied from element X. I have made a mistake. It's Y. I have to interchange these two. So this is ZFCC. So ZFCC, Y goes in FCC, so it is 4. Now X occupy all octahedral voids. How many octahedral voids are there? 4. Let's say 4 octahedral voids. In each octahedral void, there is one X atom. So can anybody tell me how many atoms of X are there? If there are 4 voids, each void has one X atom. So how many X atoms are there? 4. So when you take the ratio, you'll get 1:1. That means your answer is X1, Y1. So the correct answer is B, guys. Okay? Sometimes in other numericals, they will say half of octahedral voids are occupied. So octahedral voids are 4, but 2 are occupied by particles, X. So that means how many atoms of X are there? 2. Okay? This is how you solve these type of questions. So yes, the answer is B. Now we can solve question number 2. All of you can solve question number 2. Now we'll raise a poll for this. All of you can solve question number 2. This question is, what is the level of this question? CET plus NEET. Sometimes JEE Mains, but slightly twisted questions are asked in JEE Mains. This is quite easy question, so CET plus NEET. And boards also you can get a 2-mark numerical from this, but that will be an easier one. All right, so all of you can start solving this and send me your answers quickly. Very good, Hari Prakash. Hari Prakash, just try to, when you're sending, try to say mark on poll also, and try to justify your answer also. Yes. So Atharv says A. All right. So let's end this question on, I think many of you have started getting the answers. If I don't answer it now, you will spam the chat. So let's end the poll, guys. So if you have not voted so far, please vote fast. If you have not voted so far, please vote fast. Right? So on a count of 3, I'm going to end the poll. So please vote fast. Then I'll solve this question for you. If you have got the answers, very good. If you have not got the answer, then also good. Not very good, but it is good because I'll solve it for you. All right. So on a count of 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Yes. So many of you have voted correctly. That is A. Let us see whether A is correct or not. I feel it is correct. Let's see the calculations. So guys, let me read the question and explain the question first. It says atoms of B form HCP lattice. B form HCP lattice. That means take the ratio A is to B, right? Where is B present? B is present in HCP. What is the Z value of HCP? Z value of HCP. Guys, Z value of HCP. 6. Very good. Z value of HCP is 6. Now, the second thing he says about A is A occupy 2/3 of tetrahedral voids, right? So let me explain it here. In HCP, Z value is 6. Octahedral voids are also 6. Tetrahedral voids are 12. So there are 12 tetrahedral voids, but how many tetrahedral voids are occupied here? 2/3. So how many atoms of A are occupying the tetrahedral void? 2/3. And each void will have one particle. So how many particles will be present for A? So 12 voids are there. 6. 12 voids are there. 2/3 of this is occupied by particles. So 2/3 of 12 is how much? 2/3 of 12 is 8, right? So that means 8 particles are occupied by, 8 voids are occupied by particles. So you can see 8 are occupied by particles. 4 are empty, correct? So my Z value here will be how many atoms of A are there? 2/3 of 12. Total voids are 12, but we don't have to take voids here. We have to take how many atoms. So out of 12 voids, 2/3 of 12 is occupied by particles. So how many particles will be there? 2/3 of 12. So when you simplify this, you will get 8:6, which on further simplification, divide by 2 on both sides, you'll get 4:3. So your answer will come out to be A4B3, which is answered by many of you. Very good, guys. Congratulations. Now, one more thing. During the point of class, I will unmute any one of you and ask you to answer anything. Okay? So, Karthik, please pay attention. I'll repeat this for you. So, you can see here, Karthik, B atom occupies in HCP. Right? We have to take Z value. What is the Z value of HCP? 6. So there are 6 particles. So using this concept that I told you beginning of the class, if there are n particles, n octahedral void, 2 n tetrahedral void. So right. So now you come back. There are 6 particles. So how many octahedral voids? 6. How many tetrahedral voids? 12. But If all tetrahedral voids were occupied by atom A, that means each tetrahedral void has one atom A. So 12 tetrahedral voids will have 12 atoms. But all are not occupied. How many are occupied? 2/3 of 12 are occupied. 2/3 of 12 will be how much? 8. That means out of 12, how many tetrahedral voids are occupied by particles A? 8. Each void can have how many particles? One only. So 8 voids which are occupied will have how many particles of A? 8. That means 2/3 of 12. So your answer will be 8 is to 6. That is, divide by 2 on both sides, 4 is to 3. Is this clear? Arey Danush, what are you doing, Danush? Z value of CCP, Danush, is same as Z value of FCC. Both are same. I told in the beginning of the class only, you will take Z value as 4. Karthik, I hope this is clear to you. There are two Karthik Patan Shetty and Karthik YI. So the ironical part here is Karthik YI asked the doubt. And when I asked to respond, Karthik Patan Shetty said, yes, sir, clear. So quite interesting. So you guys are synced. Or it seems like Karthik is calling Karthik. Chalo, let's move ahead. Right? Okay. So I hope this 2 numericals are clear to everyone. I will take the advanced form of these numericals in an advanced class. Okay? I want to do one poll also on that advanced problem solving. I'll do that. Meanwhile, let's move ahead. Yes, guys. Any doubts in this 2 problems? Anyone? Yes, students? Anyone? Any doubt? Ankita, not today. From tomorrow onwards. I'll do the poll today. Cool. Let's move ahead then. Yes, so you have some homework problems for you. Okay? You can practice them. They are boards plus CET plus NEET problems. Question number 3 you can practice. 4, 5, 6. So you can take a screenshot. Anyways, I'll upload the notes also after the class. Right? So you can practice these 3 to 6 problems. All right. So is the homework clear to everyone? All of you understood this, that these 4 problems are your homework. 3 to 6. Yes, Pooja. Okay. Chalo, let's move ahead. Yes, guys. Before I go to my next concept is locating the tetrahedral and octahedral void. So I already told you that there are n octahedral voids and there are how many tetrahedral voids? I forgot. There are n octahedral voids and how many tetrahedral voids? Thank you, Vijayalakshmi. There are 2n tetrahedral voids. Okay? So now we understood that there are n octahedral voids and 2n tetrahedral voids. So where these voids will be located, we need to find that. Okay? To do that, we need to do little bit of geometry. Because you can get good questions in JEE and all from this concept. So this is given in textbook also. You can go home and read once. Let me explain the basics here. So guys, I'm going to do bit of maths. Maybe I'm not that good at maths as you guys are. So you can ignore my mistakes. Okay. So let's move ahead with the geometry part. So what I am going to do now is, yes. Right. So I'm going to do 2 things. Guys, see carefully. I'm going to find 2 lengths. So these are corner particles. All of you agree? All of you agree to this point that these are corner particles? Yes or not? These all are my corner particles. 4 corners I'm drawing. That doesn't mean there are 4 corners. There are 8 corners only. Which particle is this? Which particle is this? The one which I have drawn recently. It is face center. Now guys, please pay attention. If students, now let me number this square A, B, C and D. Let me decrease the thickness. Yes. So you can see here. This is A, B, C, D. Now what I want to do is, let's say this is a cube whose edge length, I'm writing the edge length here. the edge length of the cube from this point to this point is A. So in cube, all sides are equal. So if this length is A, that means if this edge length is A, this edge length will also be A, and this edge length will also be A, right? We are going to use it in packing efficiency also. So please pay attention. So if this edge length is A, this is also A. Now I want to find the length. Now I want to find the length AC. I know AB. I know my AB is A, and I know my AD is A. AD is A, and CD is also A, edge length. Now I want to find my length AC. What is my length AC? My length AC is this. I hope all of you can see this. Thoda sa teda hai, bit teda, right? Very good. All of you are great legends. Thank you. Now all of you understand this angle is 90 degree. Now I am going to talk about in triangle ACD. Angle D is 90 degree. That means it is a right angle triangle. So I can apply Pythagoras theorem, which says AC square is equals to AD square plus CD square. So AD length, I already know AD length is how much? A, and CD is also A. Put the values A square plus A square. How much is this length? 2A square. So AC square is equals to 2A square. Square on both sides. Take square root on both sides. So AC will come out to be root 2 times A. Is this point clear to everyone? That AC length is root 2 times A. So AC length is root 2 times A. Is this point clear to everyone? Yes, guys? Cool. So I hope this mathematics is clear to everyone. I am Ashwin. What happened, beta? Ashwin, that smiley is confusing me. Can you please tell? Cool. So let's take the next thing. The next thing here is, so I'll repeat. So those who could not follow. So this is triangle ACD. AC square is equals to A square plus A square. So you'll get root 2A. Now, important part is this. Does it? It gives you the value of the following, right? Now this is your corner particle. What is the distance between corner particle and face center particle? Now all of you know that this AC length is root 2A. This is root 2A. You have done this. So the midpoint of this will be what? Root 2A by 2. That means I can say this particle is present at what distance from corner? This is at root 2A by 2 distance from corner, right? Which can also be written as A by root 2. Okay? So this face center particle is at what distance from corner? Yes, what distance from corner? A by root 2. Very good. Now, one more thing. This is my, yes, one more thing. So this is my edge length CD. Any edge length you can take. In this edge length, if I mark something here, let me take some point here. So this point is which point? This is your edge center. This is your edge center. So what is the location of edge center from corner? What is the location of this edge center from corner? A by 2. Very good, Sonali. So this is located at what distance from corner? This is located at a distance of A by 2. That means face center particle is at what distance from corner? Root 2A by 2. Edge center particle is at what distance from corner? A by 2. Can anybody tell me? Which is smaller, A by 2 or A by root 2? A by 2 or A by root 2? Which is smaller, A by 2 or A by root 2? Oh my God. A by 2 is smaller or A by root 2 is smaller? There are 50% of you who have voted A by 2. Oh my God. So which is smaller, a divided by 2 or a divided by root 2? A by 2 or a by root 2? It's Hari Prakash. What is the value of a by 2? 0.5. What is the value of a by root 2? What is the value of a by root 2? You guys get confused very easily. You guys get confused very easily. Yes, Karan. Very good. So a by 2 is 0.5. A by 2 is 0.5. And a by root 2, that is a by 1.414, is 0.7. So a by 2 is smaller. That means with respect to this corner, this is nearer than this particle. So which is nearest particle to the corner? Edge center or face center? Edge center. Edge center is nearest particle to the corner, not the face center. Right? So this is very important point. Okay? I know, Hari Prakash. I was just asking you the value. Okay. All right. So let's move ahead. Right? Prakriti, anyone, beta, whichever you like, whichever you are in mood of. ठीक है. Arey Dhanush, this distance is a by 2. That means 0.5. And this distance is a by root 2. That means 0.7. So which is a smaller distance? 0.5, no? Now let me take you to this AC is also called face diagonal. By the way, this face is also called face diagonal. This is also called face diagonal from point A to point C. This is your one face. ABCD is a face and ADAC belongs to a face diagonal. AC is a face diagonal. Aditya M, the distance, this sides will be equal in cube. But Aditya, we are not talking about the whole side. We are talking distance between these two particles and distance between these two particles. They can be different, no? Sides will be same, but other distance will be different. Now let me take another example, which I want to explain here. Now I'm taking this A and let me take what? Yes, let me take this point B and let me take this point C. Right? Now let me join all these three lines. Now let me join all these three lines. My drawing is pretty bad, so you need to understand the limitation. So this AB line I have drawn, and then I am drawing this AD line. I hope this point is clear to everyone. Yes. Now all of you please pay attention here. All of you please pay attention here. I already know this BC length is what? This BC length is what? Edge length. This BC length is edge length. That is how much? A. This BC length is A. Correct? And this AB length. This AB length is a face diagonal, which we have already calculated here. How much it is? Root 2A. So can I say this value as, yes. Can I say this AC AB is root 2A? Can I say this? Very good, Vijayalakshmi. And BC is how much? BC is A. Can I say that? Yes or no? Right. Now let me calculate the value of AC. Now again it makes a right angle triangle, guys. Again it makes a right angle triangle here. Here it makes a right angle triangle. So I can say in triangle ABC, I can say AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. So what is the value of AB? AB is root 2A whole square plus BC is A whole square. So what do you observe here is it is 2A square plus A square. That is how much? 3A square. So AC when you simplify will come out to be root 3A. This is what I wanted to prove here because this is what I'm going to use in next slide. So this is what we have. Okay? Now this root 3A value is what? If I'm standing here in this room, so if I take my hand to the right topmost corner, draw a line from there to the bottommost corner of the room, topmost corner to bottommost corner of the room, then that line is AC and that line will pass through body center. That line will pass through body center, right? Therefore, it is called body diagonal. It is body diagonal of cube. So AC here was face diagonal and this length here is body diagonal. How much it is? Root 3A. All of you please remember this because the next thing which I am going to discuss is this only. If you have any doubt in this, please ask. I am going to move towards location of voids. I'm going to move towards location of voids. Cool. Thank you, Ankita. So yes, before I go ahead, I will leave a question for you on your screen, which you need to answer. It is not compulsory. If we extend 10 minutes for advanced problem solving, not for board students, only for advanced students, after class, how many of you can attend? How many of you can attend? Right? If you feel yes, I want to attend, you can put option A. And if you feel no, I don't want to attend. And let me tell you, there will be no syllabus covered in this, no concepts taught in this. So even if you don't attend, there is no harm. Okay? This is only for extra problem solving. Those who want to attend extra problem solving, you can answer this on poll, right? Don't answer C and D, please. There are only two options, right? So now let me move ahead with the concept. So the question is clear to everyone. You can vote on the screen. So those, I'm assuming those who vote yes, I will do from tomorrow extra problem solving for those students. But this is, don't worry, this is not going to hamper your boards. This is not going to hamper your CET. This is not going to hamper your NEET or JEE mains also. This is just extra problem solving. Okay? So do not worry about it at all. All right. So here I come to my next topic, which is the most important topic. Now let me write here about octahedral voids. About octahedral voids. Right? So guys, octahedral voids position. Where do we position our octahedral voids? Right? So let me tell you, octahedral voids are positioned at two places. What are those? At body center, you have one octahedral void. There is one void at body center, and there is one void at, and not one void. So octahedral void can be present at body center, or octahedral void can be present at edge center. Okay, I'll show you the diagram also. Now let me tell you the position of tetrahedral void. So this is in FCC, guys. We are talking about the voids in FCC or CCP, not in HCP. Okay. So tetrahedral voids position, where they are located. Tetrahedral voids are located only near each corner. So near each corner, there is one tetrahedral void. And how many corners are there? Every corner, near every corner, there is one tetrahedral voids. And how many corners are there? 8. So near every corner, if there is one tetrahedral void, near 8 corners, there will be 8 tetrahedral voids. So can I say, from this also I can say, my tetrahedral voids are how much? 8. Why my tetrahedral voids are 8? Because near each corner there is one tetrahedral voids. ठीक है? Is this concept clear? Is this concept clear? All of you pay attention again. Octahedral void at body center and at edge center. Tetrahedral void near each corner. One tetrahedral void near each corner. I'm going to explain the positions in detail later. For now, do you understand this fact that octahedral voids are present at body center and edge center? Tetrahedral voids are present near each corner. There is one tetrahedral void. So there are 8 corners. So there will be how many? There will be how many tetrahedral voids? Each corner, near each corner 1. 8 corner, 8. Now let me calculate the number of octahedral voids also for you. So all of us know body center contribution is 1 and there is only one body center. So Z value comes out to be 1. Edge center, can anybody here tell me what is the value of edge center? Z contribution of edge center? Can anybody tell me here what is the contribution of edge center? Who remember? Narek. Z value nahi. What is the contribution of edge center? Very good, Prakriti. 1/4. So if I want to find this, contribution is 1/4. And how many edges are there? 12. So it comes out to be 3. So what is the Z total? Body center 1, edge center 3. So total comes out to be 4. That means there are 4 octahedral voids and how many tetrahedral voids? 8. That is what we said. That is what we said, right? This is what we said also, that Z value in FCC is 4. Octahedral void, if it is N, octahedral void will also be N, and tetrahedral voids will be how much? 2N. So this is what we proved. So whatever we studied there, we just proved it here. So whatever we studied there, we just proved it here. Right? Whatever we studied there, we just proved it here. Is this point clear to everyone? There I made the statement. Here I gave you the proof. Right? So I didn't want to do that there. There I made the statement. Here I gave you the proof. I hope this is clear. If you have still any doubts, please ask. Right? Now let me give you the exact position where they are located. Exact position where these voids are located. Right? Kayuri, anyone beta? Now let me give you exact position of where they are located. Okay? Now all of you please pay attention. Now I'm talking about basically your locating octahedral voids. All of you pay attention. I'm talking about locating. Danush, what you have not understood, until you don't write what you have not understood, I'm not going to explain. I'm not going to repeat the whole thing if you have not understood some part. Right? Write what you did not understood. Because your doubt may be my next slide. So please write what you have not understood. All right. So now next point, what we say here is, where are the octahedral voids located? All of you pay attention. I told you already here, they are located at edge center and body center. Total voids are 4. How they are 4? I have done the calculations here and showed you. Okay? Are Danush, you are not using brain beta. That's all. Body center, Danush, contribution is 1. There is only one body center. So Z value for body center is 1. Edge center, contribution is 1/4. How many edges are there? 12. So Z value for edge center is 3. Z total will come out to be 1 plus 3, 4. Right? So octahedral voids are 4. This is what we said previously also. If there are n particles, FCC mein there are 4 particles. How many octahedral void will be there? 4. Right? So this thing and this thing is coming out to be same, no? Is this clear now, Danush? There we said n and 2n. So if n is 4, octahedral void 4, tetrahedral void 8. And here I showed you, no, how Z value is coming out to be 4. Right? Are void mein particle will be there. Shreyas, particle at body center is said to be particle in void only. Particle at body center is said to be particle at void only. Right? ठीक. Now see this. You can see here that we are locating now octahedral voids. Pay attention. So I told octahedral voids are at edge center and at body center, right? So you see this that if we locate a body center of the cube as this, okay? So let me draw it. Probably it will not be clear from this. Right, let me draw it and show it to you. That will be more easier for you. Yes? All of you pay attention. All of you please pay attention. I'm drawing it here. Okay? Are Athar, why are you forgetting things, beta? Athar, we said no, that we are talking about FCC. FCC which will be present anions. Cations will be present where? Octahedral void. So this FCC is the structure of anions. In the voids, what will be there? Cations. Athar, you are forgetting things, beta. I explained in the beginning of the class only. Okay. Now all of you pay attention here. Yes, I was explaining this here. So I told body center is octahedral void at body center and at edge center. Right? Edge center. So now let me show it with the color different. Right? Now let's say these are your corners. These are your corners. Right? These are your corners. Just a minute, guys. Hello? I'm in class. So what I was saying here was there are corners. Now each edge center, let us locate the edge centers. This is your edge center. This is your edge center. This is your edge center, edge center, edge center, edge center. Edge center. Right? So all of you get it. This edge center represent what? This represent octahedral void. Okay? So this is a octahedral void. Now this edge center is at what distance from corner? This edge center is at what distance from corner? This whole length is A. So edge center length will be what? A by 2. So this edge center is at what distance from corner? A by 2. So now this octahedral void I have shown. So let me say this is at what distance? This is at a distance of A by 2 from corner. This is at A by 2 from corner. So from corner at A by 2 distance, everywhere you'll find a octahedral void. Now let me tell you about that body center particle. Now I'm going to take, all of you please pay attention. I'm going to draw a body diagonal. I'm going to draw a body diagonal. Yes. Now this is going to be my body diagonal. From this corner to this corner. Right? This is my body diagonal. Vinayak, how edge center represent a void? Why it can't represent a void, man? Why it can't represent? Can you give me a reason why it can't? You guys are assuming that edge center is occupied by particle. It is not so. Right? We are talking about CCP structure in which anions are present in CCP or FCC. That means anions are present at corners and face center. What about cations? Cations are present in octahedral void. Where are the octahedral void? Body center and edge center. Edge center is empty, no? There is no particle at edge center. So edge center is empty. So edge center will have octahedral void, right? So if you want to know how, right, you can take any of the edge center, right? You can take any of the edge center. It will be surrounded by 6 particles. That's why we are assuming it to be octahedral void. Just remember it for now, right? That octahedral void is present at edge center. Right, cool. So this is AB length. So this is your AB length. This is your AB length. I told you what is the length AB. AB is how much length? Root 3a. We have already done the calculations here. AB length is how much? Root 2a. Body diagonal is root 3a. Right? So now, if AB is root 3a, the midpoint of this two, the midpoint of these two, the midpoint of these two, that is this particle, this particle represent body center. So this particle represent body center. So this is your body center and your octahedral void is present here, right? Body center is at what distance now? If length AB is root 3a, then let's say this point is C. What is length AC? AC length is root 3a by 2, right? We know how many edges are there in cube? 12. So each edge will have one edge center. So there will be 12 edge center. So this length will be how much? Root 3a by 2. So that means my octahedral void is located from corners at what distance? Root 3a by 2, and this is root 3a by 2 and a by 2. Right? So edge center, how many octahedral voids are there? 3, 1 by 4 into 12, and body center 1. So one octahedral void at a distance of root 3a by 4 from corner. But you show only 9. Arey Vinod, you can draw, man. What you guys are up to, guys? You can draw, Vinod. Now it's fine, Vinod. You can draw all 12. Usme kya hai? So now this point is clear. There are 4 octahedral void. Pratham, beta, what you have not understood? Pratham, I am not going to repeat a single thing until you don't write what you have not understood. Guys, this is for everyone. If you are writing repeat, answer will be no. You have to write what should I repeat. I can't repeat the whole thing which I have taught in 10 minutes again. That will delay the class a lot. Right? So let's move to the next concept. That is the tetrahedral void position. Position of tetrahedral voids. Now I told you one thing. Dhanush, I don't know what was my last part. You have to write, Dhanush. If you are lazy in messaging, I am lazy in explaining. Dhanush, I don't know what I explained in last. I have explained a lot of things here. You message what you have not understood. If you can't message that, I can't repeat. Sorry. Okay? You need to write. I can't repeat the whole thing. What is last part? How do I decide? Your last part, my last part can be different, no? Now, when you talk about the tetrahedral voids, let's see that also. Let's see that also. So I told you near corner. Let me draw first 8 corners. Near corners, near each corner, there is a tetrahedral void. Near each corner, there is a tetrahedral void. I'll come back to that, Dhanush. Understand this now first. Near each corner, there is a tetrahedral void, right? So now, let me do that again. Let me draw the body diagonal again. Let me draw the body diagonal again. Yes. Right. So the body diagonal here is, let's say this is point A and this is point B, right? Point B, point A. I'm talking about these 2 corners. Now let us draw a body diagonal here. This is our body diagonal AB, right? I have already explained you that at the center of the body, this is body center. So Dhanush, your doubt will get clear here. Please pay attention. At the center of the body, that is this, let's say this is C point. So AC length. So if AB is root 3A, AC, that is body center, is at what distance? Half of root 3A. So body center is at what point? Root 3a by 2. So there is an octahedral void at what distance? Root 3a by 2. This is octahedral void. I'm talking about tetrahedral void now. So I told you near each corner, right? So from the corner, if you travel, from let's say you are traveling from this corner and you are going towards body center, at the half distance of the body center. From this corner, what is the distance of body center? Root 3a by 2. And half of that distance, half of root 3a by 2 is how much? Root 3a by 4 is having a tetrahedral void. So what is the position of tetrahedral void from corner? Root 3a by 4. Okay? Root 3a by 4. Similarly, if you start traveling from this point, so if you start traveling from this point to this point, this total distance is root 3a. From this point to this point, body center, half of root 3a by 2. Now, I said if you travel from this point to body center and exactly at the half point, you'll find one tetrahedral void. And similarly, if you travel from here, this distance is root 3a by 2. And if you travel half the distance of this, that is still this point. At this point, you will have another tetrahedral void. Right? So each body diagonal is having two tetrahedral voids. From that corner, if I'm coming like this, so from that corner, this is your body center. So the midpoint of the body center and corner is your tetrahedral void. From this body center to the bottom corner, distance is root 3a by 2. The midpoint of body center and that corner is root 3a by 4. There you'll have one tetrahedral void. So total, similarly, you can take this body diagonal. There will be two on this. There will be two on this. And there will be one more body diagonal you can take is this. I missed one. Yes, this one. So you can take 4 body diagonals. On each body diagonal, there will be two tetrahedral voids. At what distance from corner? Root 3a by 4. Right? So I hope this point is clear that what is the position of octahedral voids from corner? A by 2, edge center. Root 3a by 2, body center. Tetrahedral void from corner, how much? Root 3a by 4. Okay? I hope this point is clear. Ankita, there will be 4 body diagonals, no? Ankita, you can draw 4 body diagonals in a cube. You can try doing that. See. So each body diagonal will have, Vismay, you can draw whatever you want. Body diagonal I'm talking about. So each body diagonal will have 2 tetrahedral voids. 4 body diagonals will have 8 tetrahedral voids. So I hope this is clear. Yes, guys. Is it clear, everyone? All right. So let's move to our next concept, that is packing efficiency. I'll give you the formula of packing efficiency, then I'll go ahead. Okay. What does packing efficiency represent? So this is packing efficiency of CCP structure. I'm not going to come to this first. I'll take an easier one first. I'll take a simple cubic one first because this is a easy one. Okay. I hope this is quite visible thing. So first, let me give you a formula of packing efficiency. All right. So now I was talking about packing efficiency. If you take a cube, how much part of the cube is occupied by particles? That is called packing efficiency. Okay. Now I'm extending the class by 2 to 3 minutes because of this delay, right? I'll do that, Narottam. For those who wait, I'll do that. Okay. So now all of you pay attention here. I'm writing the formula of packing efficiency. So packing efficiency will be Z, that is number of particles per unit cell, into 4 by 3 pi r cube, that is volume occupied by one particle, into number of particle, is total volume occupied by the particle, divided by volume of unit cell. Since our unit cell are cubic, so volume of unit cell usually will be volume of cube, that is A cube. What is the volume of cube? A cube, into 100. So this is the formula of packing efficiency we are going to use in all the cases we are going to study. Right? Please remember this formula. This is the formula we are going to use for packing efficiency. We are going to study here. Okay? Now, first case, I'm going to discuss only this case here today, right? That is I hope you have noted the formula of packing efficiency. I'm going to discuss only and only the simple cubic here, which is an easier one. Okay? Now, yes, guys, please take down the formula. Z into 4 by 3 pi r cube into volume of unit cell into 100. Okay? And for boards, it is very important for boards because this will come for 3 marks in boards. This will come for 3 marks in boards. Okay? Let's move ahead. So guys, when I apply the formula here, so I have written the formulas here. So I'll directly solve. Packing efficiency is 4 by 3 pi r cube. When exam mate comes, you should write everything in derivation of 3 marks, right? So in exam, diagram include 1 mark, board exam. This formula include 1 mark. And this assumption, edge length is A, include 1 mark. Total 3 mark derivation it will be. Divided by A cube into 100. So we are talking about simple cubic unit cell. Can you guys tell me what is the value of Z in simple cubic unit cell? What is the value of Z in simple cubic unit cell? Can you guys tell me what is the value of Z in simple cubic unit cell? If you remember. Yes, very good. Abhishek, Rohit, Ketki. Z value is 1. So put the value of Z as 1. 4 by 3 pi r cube by A cube into 100. Now, since it is in the form of R and this is in the form of A, I should find the relationship between A and R. So for that, we have represented our unit cell here. We already know the simple cubic unit cell or primitive unit cell is the one which has particles only at corners. It has particles only at corners. But in reality, it does not look like this. The particle here and the particle here will be touching each other. Right? All the corner particles will be touching each other. For example, you see here, this corner particle is touching this corner particle. Similarly, this corner particle is touching this corner particles. So corner particles will be touching each other. Also, to give you a idea here, to find relation between A and R, use particles which are touching each other. Use particles which are touching each other. Always. Okay? So now all of you can see here, if I take that from this corner to this corner, my edge length is A. This is my edge length A, right? And from this point, corner to this point, distance is R. From this center of this particle to this point, distance is R. And this corner to this corner, total length is A. So can I write my A is equal to 2R? Can I write this relation, my A is equals to 2R? Yes, very good, Harshita. So if A is equals to 2R, substitute the value of A equal to 2R here, you'll get your answer. So when you substitute that and simplify, your packing efficiency will come out to be 1 into 4 by 3 pi r cube divided by A cube. What is A? 2R. 2R whole cube into 100. So R cube se R cube will get cancelled. When you simplify this, your answer will come out to be 52.4%. That means out of 100%, how much percentage is occupied by particles in simple cubic unit cell? 52.5%. And what is the void percentage? What is percentage void? 52.5% is occupied. Percentage void is 100 minus 52.5. This was asked in 2011 or 12 JEE mains. So this comes out to be 47.5%. So lot of space is empty in simple cubic unit cell. Okay? Okay, so I have taken 52.5, so that's why 5. It will be 47.6. All right, so that's all about this packing efficiency. Tomorrow we'll discuss two-dimensional packing efficiency also. So if you have any doubt in this, you can ask. Others, you can leave. I'll take today's quiz, post this in 1 minute. So I'm giving you 1 minute. Yes, Samir, I'll take that. I'll give you 1 minute to ask if you have any doubt on this, guys. Today's quiz is not science. It's not quiz only. It's a puzzle. Today we have a puzzle. Kayuri, packing efficiency formula, I hope you have understood. Packing efficiency formula is Z in, I'll repeat again, Z into 4 by 3 pi r cube. That is volume occupied by particle, one particle, into number of particles gives you total volume occupied by particle, divided by total volume of unit cell. So out of 100, how much is occupied? That like that. So this is total volume of unit cell. How much is occupied by particles? This will give you packing fraction into 100 packing efficiency. So Z value for simple cubic is 1, 4 by 3 pi r cube as it is. Now I found the relation between A and R, right? How did I get that? I should use those particles which are touching each other. So in simple cubic, these corner particles are always touching each other, right? So in simple cubic, if this edge length is A, then from this point to this point distance is R, radius of particle. From this point to this point radius is R, radius of particle. So this total length, that is A, can I write is equal to 2R, Kayuri? Can I write it is equal to 2R? Right? Keertan, you were absent for majority of the part. You left the class, right? So A is equals to 2R. Now substitute the value of A equal to 2R here. 2R cube. R cube will get cancelled. This value on simplification will come out to be 52.4%. So your packing efficiency is 52.4%. That means out of 100% of the cube, if the volume of the cube is 100, how much out of 100 is occupied by particle? 52.4. How much is not occupied by particle? 100 minus 52.4, that is 47.5. So 47.5% space is not occupied by particle. That is your empty space or voids. Yes, Shreya, I'm going to that. Dhanush, what irrelevant doubt is that, beta? How particle is that big means what? Have you seen the particle? Do you even know? How particle is that big means what? Particle can be big, no? Why can't particle be big? You are assuming particle should be that tiny, minute, kya? It can be big. This unit cell is also not visible with naked eye. This is microscopic level. At microscopic level, this can be big. Dhanush is asking, sir, how we can see this big particle? No, beta, this is microscopic only. We have expanded it. This is so kind of, Dhanush, either your doubts are incomplete or they are weird. Any of these two. So Keertan, I have already cleared your doubt. Void percentage will be 47.5. The last statement explanation, sir. I did not understand which last statement you are asking about, Chirag. Chirag, I did not understand. Packing efficiency can change depending upon the crystal structure. Manali. Position of oxygen. Prashant, I will end the class. Wait till then I'll clear the position of octahedral voids. Prashant, I have already explained that. So I will clear if you wait. If you can't wait, I'm sorry. I need to first do the other things. Chirag Naik. Chirag, your doubt is really unclear, Chirag. You're talking first to explain something. Now you're saying HCP and CCP. Please write sentences. I do not have last statement explanation. Then you said HCP, CCP. I did not understand what you're talking about. I am having lot of doubts to take here, Chirag. I cannot think what Chirag's doubt is this and then clarify it. You need to express your doubts very well. For HCP packing efficiency, we are yet to discuss Athar. We have not discussed yet. If corners are very close, then where the array Vijay, it is not necessary edge center particles will be present everywhere. Edge center is a position. It may be occupied in some structures. It may not be occupied. Then you should say, sir, where is body center particle? Right? Simple cubic, you know, no, only corners are occupied. Edge centers are not occupied. Face center is not occupied. Body center is not occupied. So in simple cubic, only corners are occupied. Getting a point? So Chirag, your doubt, I can't answer until you clarify your doubt. Please write your doubt carefully and clearly. All right, so let me take the quiz. After that, I'll take the doubt. Post that, I'll take the doubts. Those who have doubts can stay back. Those who don't have doubts can leave. All right. So this is our first one today. Guys, we are already very late. So if you guys are not putting your doubts properly, I'm sorry, I can't answer them. Atharv, I have cleared your doubt. We are yet to discuss HCP packing efficiency. So you have to identify the missing number here. What is the missing number here? This is an easy one. Still, just to check your IQ. It's an easy one. Just to check your IQ. It's an easy one. Identify the missing number here. This is what we give for our 9th and 10th standard students. All right. So still till 60 people have voted. 10% of them have voted wrong. So you can understand now. All right. Quick. You are yet to vote. So please be quick. All right. On a count of 3. So we are ending it. So please vote fast. On a count of 3, 2, 1. We are ending it now. Yes, many of you answered it very correctly. Its answer is 9, right? 9. It represents corners. 1 and 4. So the correct answer is yes, it is 4. Very good. Now the next one does not have options. Whatever you feel the answer, you have to write it on chat. Whatever is your answer, you have to write it on chat, right? Let me see the chat. What can be the answer here? There is something which you can see once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 of years. You will never see that thing. You'll never see that thing in 1,000 of years. Some of you have got it right, actually. Very good. There is something which you can see once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 of years. Yes. Got it. Very good, Pradyuman. So many of you have got it right, actually. These were easy ones. I just wanted to check what is your IQ level. Next time it will be a little harder one. Right, let's end it on a... So the correct answer here is M only, as answered by many of you. Here in a minute, you see 1 letter M, 2 letter M. In 1,000 of years, there is 0 M. So you see once M in a minute, you see twice M in a moment, and never in 1,000 of years. Some is saying, Purvam is saying death. Purvam, how you see death twice in a minute, twice in a moment? Sun, Adarsh is sun. Oh my God. The actual answer here is M, students. If I would have given the option, it will become very obvious question, right? That's why I didn't give the answer. All right. That's all for today. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining in. We'll do important topics tomorrow, and we'll do extra problem solving for the students who voted today. Right. So yes, many of you have answered it. So those who have doubts can stay back. The others can leave, right? If you have any other things to say, you can stay back. Others can leave. Thank you, guys. Ashwin, beta, I have already explained 2 times. One yesterday, one today. Ashwin, were you absent yesterday? Very good, Shreya. That's which school you were in, Shreya? Thank you, Pradeep. Thank you, Vamshi. Thank you, Vijayalakshmi. Right. All of you can leave. If you have doubts, you can stay back. I'll clarify your doubts. Thank you, Ankita. Thank you, Tejaswini. Those who have doubts can stay back. Thank you, Tanuja. The others can leave. Thank you, Khushi. Khushi, send me the update, Khushi. I am unable to call you. Khushi, send me the update, beta. If Hari Prakash is not there, I think. Right, guys. Those who have doubts, please stay back. Prashant, yet people are there. Prashant, let the people go. The doubt which you are posting, Prashant, here will be vanished in seconds. Chandan, wait. Chandan, wait. Thank you, Monisha. Thank you, Priyadashini. Thank you, Adi. Thank you, Danush. Thank you, Sanat. Chirag, wait. Chirag, you need to wait. Hari Prakash, I told you to message me after the class. Just do that, Hari Prakash. I'll talk to you about your studies and see how you're performing.